It is one of the fastest growing disciplines in world motorsport, turning the humble gamer into the new age athlete. With a community expanding into millions worldwide, this isn't child's play. Sim racing is the real deal. Welcome to Speedweek's eSeries.
eSports. It's the fastest growing spectator sport in the world. The dawn of eSports is truly upon us. Welcome to Speedweek's eSeries, powered by Gran Turismo Sport and PlayStation 4. A revolutionary new show where we pit professional driver against gamer in the fastest cars on the best tracks in racing simulators, competing for the inaugural Speedweek eSeries title. Racing simulators have, without a doubt, changed the dynamics of motorsport, creating a playing field that allows gamers a leg up in chasing their car racing dreams and provides an avenue for professional drivers to sharpen their skills and increase circuit knowledge. Shining a light on the best of the very best, our talented lineup will go head-to-head on a platform that boasts over 5 million players since its release in October 2017. That platform is Gran Turismo Sport. Over our 4 rounds, we will visit Mount Panorama, Suzuka Circuit Japan, Monza in Italy and Circuit de la Sarthe in France. Hold on to your seats because we are in for one hell of a ride.
I'm Jake Blackall, 22, avid sim racer, being picked up by Ash Sutton to compete in British Sim Racing Tourer Cars Championship and compete in numerous European leagues. I'm driving in the BMW M6 GT3.
I'm Keishi Yuka, I'm 31, I'm a 2016 GT Academy International finalist, and 2017 I raced in the Nissan Micro Cup in Canada, and I'll be racing in the Nissan GT-R GT3.
I'm Joel Dimack, I'm 28 from Brisbane, Queensland. I'm a professional drifter and a sim racer. Today I'll be driving the Audi R8 GT3.
I'm Simon Feigl, I'm 33 years old from Melbourne, the highest placed Australian within the Blancpain GT Championship in iRacing, and today I'll be driving the McLaren GT3.
I'm Josh Muggleton, 31 from Sydney. I'm gamer turned real life racer through GT Academy, and for this competition I'm racing the Mercedes AMG GT.
I'm Matt Simmons, 29 from Melbourne, Australia, the winner of the Nissan PlayStation GT Academy Championship, now a professional driver, and now driving the Jaguar F-Type GT3.
I'm John Collins, 26 from Sydney, 2015 Australian Formula 3 champion. I'm a pro driver, driving the Honda NSX GT3.
I'm Luke King, 28 years old from the Central Coast of New South Wales, pro driver, currently racing in the 2018 Toyota 86 Racing Series. Today I'm racing the Ferrari 458 Italia GT3 and I'm here to beat up some gamers.
Well, there you have it. What a stellar lineup. Wishing all our drivers and gamers the very best of luck because now it's time to get into our first qualifying session.
Thank you, Tess. Welcome to the very first qualifying session for the Speedweek eSeries. Justin Ruggiers alongside me, Matt Nolte, for this one lap to get it right here at Mount Panorama.
It's huge commitment around here, and it's looking like going to be a very good lap as well. So huge respect for these guys, doing a great job.
So Simon Feigl gets across the line at 2:04.7 to put himself into the top position. But then this guy come out, Josh Muggleton, a smashing lap when he comes to the finish line, lowering the benchmark just a further 1.4 seconds down the road. But then Matt Simmons came out and laid down this time, which would be good enough to take the #1 spot at 2:03.07. And that's how they'll start for race #1. Simmons and Muggleton on the front row, Feigl and Ayukai on the second row. Blackhall and Luke King, John Collins and Joel Dimack will start on that 4th row. Justin, it's going to be very hard to look past Matt Simmons in this one, though.
Just looking at the field, the competitiveness in these guys, it's going to be an epic race. Can't wait to see it.
You can feel the tension down here right now amongst our 8 drivers. Some are pro drivers and some are professional gamers out there. There's a bit for everybody, isn't there?
Sure is, and funny enough, I know quite a few of these guys, so I can just imagine the anticipation and the kind of racing we're going to see.
So a rolling start here for the first race around Mount Panorama of this Speedweek eSeries. As the Jaguar comes around with Muggleton alongside, this Jag should have a whole heap of horsepower going up Mountain Straight for the first time. So into Hell Corner for the first time around Mount Panorama for 3 laps. We jump on board with Jake Blackhall as he's already applying the blowtorch to the back of that Nissan GT-R.
Yeah, the run up to Mountain Straight is going to be very important, and we want to see the toe. Hopefully, can capitalise on this move.
So line towards the top of Griffins for the first. It's only 3 laps, so just under 20 kilometres of racing to follow us here, and already it's got the intensity of a last lap screamer as Simmons leads us up to the top of the cutting on lap number 1.
You think it's a 1 lap dash the way they're going?
He got the wall on the way through, and it might have hurt the car for a split second. There's the big Mercedes of Josh Muggleton running second, Simon Feigl in third place, and Oyukai in the GTR is back there in 4th.
Luke King seems to be making some progress as well from the start, so it'll be interesting to watch him as well.
Blackhall eating the curve. The car looks nervous across the top here. The first lap trying to get... Oh, one car going massively wide. Did it make it through the turn? No, it didn't. John Collins finding the gravel on the outside and lucky to get away with that.
Well, another one's gone off as well in the dipper.
So they're all being caught out here by 1, tyre temperature's probably not coming up, and 2, other cars around them.
It's making it hard for them too. Knowing it's a 3-lap race, people are going to be making mistakes.
So out of Forest Elbow, the big long stretches of Conrod Straight for the first of 3 laps. This is where we'll start to see the higher horsepower cars really show their prominence. You're on board with Blackhall again as he's behind the back of the Ferrari of Luke King, challenging for the position. Side by side here on the runs to chase. Who's going to give in first here?
Is he going to do it? No, he backed out. I'm surprised he backed out of that, to be honest.
That was gutsy, to say the least. The Ferrari holds on now. They sweep through the chase, and down underneath the bridge for the first lap, Matt Simmons is starting to put a bit of a margin on Muggleton. We're watching this battle a bit further in the pack as we go down to Murray's.
Yeah, it's going to be important. Again, you know, lap 2 is going to be important. Going to need a good run here to benchmark him and try and chase Simmons.
So 1 lap in the books, and everybody's safely through, apart from Collins, who went wide at the top there at McPhillamy Park. They climb the mountain once again. It's a big track, 6.2 kilometres and just over 2 minutes per lap. You are very, very busy behind the wheel.
Yeah, see now if he's going to get the draft for Mountain Straight. Doesn't look like he's going to get the run, but he's flashing the headlights, it seems.
So what's Blackhall got for us? Back on board now. Just through the sweeper, they climb the hill here. Stretching the legs across the top of that curve. That concrete wall comes out real quick. The sweeping left up to the top at the same time. You're braking, trying to straighten the car up. This time, the Ferrari goes sideways and almost contact.
I was going to say, Kingy went real wide into that turn. He probably wanted to be more inside than that, but he got away with it.
It really sucks you in that corner, doesn't it? You carry so much speed up there, but before you know it, you're snapping sideways.
Yeah, it's only one line in there, and as you can see, if you're a bit wide, you're going to be loose on exit. So
now he needs to regain his composure through McPhillamy Park. A little dip in the road. Curb on the right-hand side can trip you up at the best of times. This is Keiichi Okaya heading down into Skyline, just giving the car a header rub into the dipper. Kick of dirt, so the GTR starting to come on strong. Here he's gone. So Blackhall is gone on the exit of the dipper.
Unfortunately, you know, the move was on and he was trying his best, but unfortunately lost the rear end, so he's going to have to fight again.
Such an unforgiving course, isn't it, Mount Panorama? Back on board with Joel Dimmack now. Running the Audi R8, the sweet sounds of the R8. Appropriate enough, underneath the R8 bridge, heading down Conrod Straight.
You can see how much commitment you need around Bathurst. I mean, you know, all these guys are making little mistakes, but you know, hopefully the next lap's clean and they can capitalise on some more moves.
Shot from the curb cam into the chase. And now the climb up through the hill. Another corner that can trip many of the drivers up with speeds are up towards 260 kilometres per hour. Then they plunge down the hill. Back to our leading driver right now, Matt Simmons, former GT Academy winner back in 2015. An absolute pro behind the wheel of these Sims.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch him, and you can see the commitment that's needed around this track, and you can see the gap and the margin that he's put on Josh. Hopefully Josh has got an answer for him in this last part of the race.
I know we're 2 laps into a brand new series, but you get the feeling these 2 guys are going to be the form guys to catch.
Yeah, I mean, watching it, you know, the intensity behind it, I'm getting edgy just watching. I want to be part of it, so yeah, hats off to him.
I want to be edgy, I want to be out there with him, and we can do that. You're the professional racer, I'm the gamer alongside you here, but man, what a great concept this is as Matt Simmons sets sail now for the final time across the top of the mountain.
It's not a bad thing for Jaguar too to be leading this race ahead of the Merc.
It's got a good ring to it, hasn't it? Muggleton holding down second position. They've left the third place car in the distance now of Simon Feigl. Luke King is still in 4th. Keiichi Okaya is still back in 5th. And Jake Blackhall is in 6th position on this, the final lap as they drop down through the dipper.
I mean, you can see Josh too. He's using every part of the track. He's using great lines. And I I mean, Matt's still pulling away, so Matt knows something that we don't.
Into the Forest Elbow, looking high above this Mount Panorama course. What's the Mercedes got for it? There was 3/10 between these two in qualifying earlier. And not much track time when you think about the practice they got, 30 minutes, then it was an out lap and a qualifying lap. There really wasn't much time to get settled.
Just goes to show, I mean, in real racing we get 20 minutes and even then it's hard work. So to only get one out lap and a flying lap, yeah, credit to these guys.
Into the chase, just pulls the Mercedes up in time. He had all four chirping through the turn, rubs the curb underneath the Armour All Bridge and down to the final turn. From pole position, that blistering time in qualifying, Matt Simmons will convert it into a race win and becomes the first winner in the Speedweek eSeries here at Mount Panorama. Honest more going on in the background, the Ferrari's gone properly this time. Even before the checkered flag, and Luke King, I'm sure he's dropped a couple of positions out of that one. He would have, because there goes the Nissan GTR. He's dropped right down into 7th position. What a shame, because that was a genuine top 4 performance. And the win going to Matt Simmons by less than a second to Muggleton. Feigl back in 3rd place. Ayukai in 4th, Blackhall in 5th, down to Dimmick, Luke King and John Collins. That wild moment at McPhillamy finishes in 8th.
I'm Matt Simmons, 29 from Melbourne, Australia. Some of my achievements through my short racing career would be definitely becoming the 2015 Nissan PlayStation GT Academy International Champion. It's quite a mouthful, but it turned my life upside down, made my dream come true. It escalated up to becoming an international driver, so racing in Europe in the Blancpain GT series. As a Nissan factory driver, which was unreal. But getting the opportunity to race in Europe at some of the most iconic tracks that I dreamt of, experience I never thought was possible. I've had so much experience from Europe, so I really want to take that to local race teams and showcase how far I've come. Bucket list items for me, of course, is to race in the Bathurst 12-hour. It's definitely on my radar. So as a professional racing driver, you don't quite understand how much off-the-track physical fitness you need to do to be able to get yourself fit, I guess. It's so physically demanding, but it mentally strengthens you, so when you're in the car you can focus on driving at your best. And now I'm back in the sim again, and I love the pressure. It feels exactly the same. We've got such a strong sim community in Australia, so you can really get on there, have some fun with your mates, but equally you can feel the same pressure you feel in a race car but not have those physical demands. So yeah, so to be a part of the Speedweek eSeries event for the first time, it's quite awesome to again be in an amazing competition. But we all have sim experience and life experience, and some with race experience now, so it's great to showcase what we can do on a sim together, but also share stories as well. Some of the challenges in the C series will all be about controlling that pressure. It is quite short, you know, the qualifyings are only hot laps, so you really got to be on it. But another key thing is you need to adapt as quickly as you can. So I think that's a really good skill to apply in any sorts of field of racing. So to be able to do that here and limit the mistakes, I think you'll be able to have some success. So I'll try and do the best I can.
I'm Keishi Ayukai, I'm 31, so my biggest achievement so far would definitely be reaching the GT Academy International Final in 2016. Obviously it's a huge opportunity for anyone, regardless whether you're a racer or a gamer. So to get there, it was a big chance, and obviously didn't come away with a win, unlike Matt, who's with us today as well. And then last year, while it was a struggle in a lot of parts of the year, going to the Micro Cup, completely self-funded. But yeah, it was really a matter of, I had to risk it all. I had to go over there, buy my own car, find my own way around, try and find someone to look after the car even. The first few days I really didn't know. I bought the car and had nowhere to store it even. So that was where we were to start with. But we went there and just gave it a good crack, and some good memories there as well. So being in Canada, I think it just showed me that even if there's nothing really organised to start with, as long as I keep pushing, keep my eyes open, it can be found and I can do it. So I think after all these years, it gave me a bit of self-belief that I can still do this, and I just have to keep my head down even when things look like they're coming to a dead end sometimes, so just keep pushing and just keep trying. So the goals I'm working towards hasn't really changed from the last 10 years really. It's to try and get professionally in racing. That's where my heart lies. I really don't care about anything else in life. So being in the Speedweek eSeries, it's a pretty good feeling really, just to be recognised and I guess not forgotten a bit after GT Academy, and just relishing the opportunity to be here with these guys that really are the top level gamers and racers, and just see how we go, and yeah, it's a good chance to keep the competitive streak alive.
Time to check out the points after race number 1, and Matt Simmons has an 8-point advantage now over Josh Muggleton, who's back in 2nd, Simon Feigl in 3rd. Ayukai that we just met a few moments ago is in 4th, and Jake Blackhall completes the top 5 so far after one race. Qualifying now for race number 2, and this time Matt Simmons was first out on the track. We saw the time from qualifying session 1. We thought that wasn't going to be knocked down in the second session. Well, it caught us both by surprise, Justin, because he stopped the clock at that number right there.
Yeah, this guy's just on it. He's on the game, and you can tell he's determined to win.
A full second underneath what he said earlier before. Josh Muggleton came out in the Mercedes. He would qualify on the front row once again, but it was a 2:04 flat this time. And then the final car to come out, Simon Feigl, as we saw in the first qualifying session earlier today. He come out the final turn to complete his lap aboard the McLaren 650, but only a 2:04.49. And that's how they'll start once again. Jaguar and Mercedes on the front row, Simmons and Muggleton, Feigl and Blackhall on the second row, Ayukai and Luke King starting out of 5 and 6, and John Collins and Joel Dimac starting out of 7 and 8, the Honda and the Audi for race number 2 here at Mount Panorama in Bathurst. The drivers are getting set, the tension's rising once again. You've had a lot of experience in here. What do you train yourself up for in this moment?
It's funny just seeing Simmons there, how committed he is. He's just focused, you know, he's just looking at the screen. How can I be better than anyone else? So, yeah, high commitment, high stress.
All mixed into one would say, as we're on the rolling lap coming around to start the second race. Another 3 laps around Mount Panorama here at Bathurst. Simmons was a clear winner before by just a second. What's he got for us as we go green here in race number 2?
Muggleton just needs to try and stay on the back of Simmons. Just stay in the draft. We want to be as close as possible at Forest Elbow for that run down Conrod Straight too.
Climbing the hill, so just as we saw in the first race, the Jaguar. Here's the Ferrari coming through the field once again of Luke King, who was caught up, probably on his own doing, coming in underneath the Armour All Bridge, trying to make the moves on the big Nissan GTR on the outside. This is brave.
High commitment again, and he's gone really wide there as well, so hopefully it doesn't hurt him into the cutting.
And he has to slot back in behind the GTR as they climb the shelf and up to the cutting for the first of 3 laps. Order unchanged. The front again, it runs wide and almost glances the wall, and that's cost him a position.
And that's what we said the last race, you know, going wide there's going to hurt you, and that's what happened.
Why are we seeing that on the first lap?
Because it's just knowing it's only a 3-lap race and you can see the leaders pulling away. Probably just a bit of an experience maybe.
Across the top of McPhillamy we go. High-speed part of the circuit, you can't make a mistake. It's so narrow through this section, and getting the car pulled up down here, like we saw in Muggleton, just pulling the Mercedes up, it really unloads the car. The weight really transfers to the rear. You can lock the brakes really quickly.
And it seems that Simmons is very good on cold tyres too. I mean, if I was Muggleton, I'd like to be a bit closer into Forest Elbow to get a good run down Conrod Straight, but it seems that Matt knows how to get speed.
Gone! On the exit of Forest Elbow. So easy to do when the track is still dropping away, and it puts him right to the back of the field now.
And as a racer myself out of Forest Elbow, you're trying to get on that accelerator as quick as possible, maybe a bit too quick.
So they'll drop him a ton of positions now in position number 8. Here's the Mercedes still running in second. The Ferrari on the charge through the field. A great 3-car scrap here with Luke King, Collins and Ayukai for 3rd, 4th and 5th, and the Ferrari goes off again.
It looks like it got a bit of a hit there, Matty.
Well, the classic bump and runs in racing. Even in sim racing, that's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm used to it in real racing.
Here's the GTR now of Ayukai, running now in 5th position. We go back to 1st and 2nd as they climb the mountain once again. And as we saw in race number 1, the first 2 put in a margin. More action happening here at Hell Corner.
He's even got the blinker on. Go past.
Wow, it's very polite. The McLaren saying, indicate, pass me on the left. And the GTR will go side by side. Was he playing the psych out here, maybe?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he's up to, but he needs to get on with it.
Here he comes. Feigl, who qualified in 3rd position, has dropped back to 4th. Climbing the hill again. Expecting big things from this GTR this year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the GTR is a great car, and obviously it likes Bathurst, but again, he's gone wide. Bit of a wide entry there, so looks like he's got a good exit, though, after all that.
When you think of GTR, you think of Bathurst in the 90s. Straight away, don't you?
I mean, even the sound, listen to it, just sounds spectacular.
So the McLaren, across the top. Another part of the track, there's the metal grate on the right-hand side. If you get that, it can unsettle the car. I held my breath for a moment then. You can't afford really to hit that curb on the right-hand side. I know that from personal experience.
And again, you can see how much it unsettles the car if you get the line wrong. And obviously it unsettled the car, and you can see now the transitions between corners, how much it's upsetting the car as well.
So the McLaren a bit stronger across the top of the mountain, but nowhere really to pass until we get down to Forest Elbow. And straight away, Yukai protecting the line. McLaren runs wide. That was probably deliberate to get better drive out of Forrest.
Be interesting to see if the McLaren can catch the Nissan down the straight in the draft.
Back on board.
Maybe a bit too far away, maybe, but we'll soon find out after the chase.
He might close the gap, but by the time he gets to that right-hand kink, he'll have to settle in and maybe for a look at the left-hander. Great shot from the curb once again through the chase as the Ferrari pulls out for the move down the inside, and access denied. But this time the car in front takes to the dirt.
I think he's looking in his mirror.
Oh! And that could have been scary. It was Collins. Oh, there's the McLaren going down the inside once again. So it's on between the GDR and the McLaren here as we start the final lap at Bathurst.
You could see Luke King's car with the brakes, how red they were. It's obviously on the brake pedal pretty hard.
They've had a workout, no question about it. So this could almost be 4 cars scrapping here soon. And they'll go at it once again. Collins behind the back of Luke King gets back into the slipstream as we climb Mountain Straight for the last time.
And these two guys are very experienced, so I'll be interested who comes out on top.
Pulls out for a look, deep under brakes, he climbing the hill and gets it done. Textbook move there at the top of Griffin's Bend.
And he's got the indicator on as well.
They've been far too polite for race time. Oh, he can't do it there. And he had to pull out the last second. That was almost Ambrose Murphy-esque, wasn't it, from back in 2005?
They got away with it, though.
Only just. Climbing the shelf. Simmons and Muggleton, well, they've checked out of this race once again. To watch this battle inside the top 5. John Collins, who had that moment. Now the Ferrari's having another big moment. Left, right, spin, tags the wall a second time.
Just goes to show the commitment needed around here. And if you push too much, you unfortunately hit the wall.
A race to forget for Luke King as Matt Simmons is having a bit of fun on the final lap. Whether it was planned or not, the big Jag snaps sideways on the exit of Forrest, and again Muggleton not close enough to make an impression in this race.
Unfortunately, a lot. I would have thought maybe Josh would have been able to hold with him and take the pace to him, but unfortunately the Jags is too good today.
Downhill approach into the chase. It's been there for over 30 years now. A great addition to this course back in the mid-80s. Another passing opportunity here at Bathurst, but down to the final turn. A 2:02.87 was the pole position time. He whacked a second off that from his previous qualifying run. And Matt Simmons will go back-to-back here at Mount Panorama, collects race win number 2. Muggleton will have to hold down second, but points, and more points to go back to Simon Feigl, and the GTR will come home in 4th position ahead of Collins, who had another interesting race.
It was great racing by these guys, and again, it just shows the commitment needed to be fast around here. And well done to Matt Simmons, Josh Muggleton. Yeah, they'll live and fight another day.
There's Luke King further back in the field there too, in 6th position, but Matt Simmons by 2.7 seconds this time to Muggleton. Feigl in 3rd, Oyukai in 4th, ahead of Collins, King, Blackhall, and Joel Dimmock, some 32 seconds behind Matt Simmons, who goes back-to-back here at Bathurst. The points sees Matt Simmons now on 66. That's 16 points clear of Josh Muggleton. We go back to Simon Feigl, Oyukai in 4th, Blackhall in 5th position, then Luke King, John Collins, and Joel Dimmock back there in 8th position after the first round here at Mount Panorama.
Well, it is with great pleasure that I hand our trophy over to our winner of round 1 of Speedweek's inaugural eSeries. Congratulations, Matt Simmons. Well done. What a solid effort. You must be pretty pleased to start the series with a win.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was actually really surprised to be able to get around with 2 poles and 2 race wins. But yeah, the pressure's on. We've got a great group of guys that are racing hard, so hopefully I can keep the lead and go moving on to Suzuka.
How are you feeling about next round?
Tough. I definitely, Bathurst one of my favourite tracks, so I knew I'd be pretty good there. So Suzuka is a bit unknown, so we'll just see how we go and hopefully stay up near the front.
Can't wait for round 2. Congratulations again on the win.
Thank you. Cheers.
Let's take a look at the overall points right now. The Pro Driver's on 154. The Gamer's on 114 after the first round here at Bathurst, with Matt Simmons leading on 66 points, 16 clear of Josh Muggleton, while the Gamers has been led forward by Simon Feigl, who has 8 points over Keisha Yukai.
Well, what a start to Speedweek's eSeries. Matt Simmons on fire. This is just the beginning. We are set for an exciting series. Will our professional drivers be able to keep the lead next round, or will our gamers keep turning up the heat out at Suzuka Circuit, Japan? One thing for sure is this championship is revving up. We'll see you in round 2.